What's going on, everyone? Demetris Ford here with another episode of Through the Line. Today, I have another very special guest, talented in ways that I really can't explain. Here to my right, I have Miss Abbie. Miss Abbie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great, thank you, and thank you for inviting me.
Oh, no problem, no problem. I'm glad that you actually came and you felt comfortable enough to come out here and speak to us.
Yes, excited.
Absolutely. So, I'm loving the outfit, by the way. What you got going on right here?
Honestly, kind of recreation, I guess, of the Chanel.
Oh
It's
yeah.
very popular right now, but
Okay.
keeping it still friendly, budget friendly.
Just a
Yeah,
little nice, just a little something out the
yeah,
edge, y'all.
bougie. Yeah.
All right, so please just kind of give it yourself a soft introduction of letting people know who you are and a little bit of the things that you kind of do before we dive into the little bit of depth of
Of
it.
course. Well, I came here actually from Ukraine originally in 2011. Got adopted with my little brother by a great family back in Georgia.
Uh-huh.
So after that, I went really into the service industry, wanted to be a pilot. Wanted to be a
Wow.
pilot.
Okay.
So went into a flight attendant. That's kind of like a stepping stool into the pilot industry and got introduced to real estate.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely fell in love and never looked back,
And never
really.
look back. So you've had a quite interesting march of even getting to where you are right now, especially not being born here in the States, right? Like so Ukraine, of course, originally from Ukraine. Um, uh, how was that experience? Like how would you describe if I was to tell you to describe Ukraine in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
Let's face it before the war, because that's how I knew the
Well, yeah, whenever
country.
you were
Yes,
there,
let's
yeah.
face it before all that happened. I think authentic would be one because people genuinely like help each other. There is no middle class. There's poor and rich.
Mm-hmm.
So poor stand by each other, support each other, and so on with the rich,
That's
of
on the rich
course.
side, yeah.
Yeah, they have their own society. So then I think generosity again, growing up in orphanages and coming from homelessness completely, that really showed me that it was still possible to survive by, I mean, begging for food or begging for money to get food. So generosity for sure. And genuinely, I think voice.
Mm-hmm.
And that's even in 2025, it still shows they're not afraid to speak up, right? They want their freedom, no matter if they've only been for 30 years a country, they want their freedom.
Mm-hmm.
So I think voice can be one of the words I would describe
Absolutely.
it.
Great 3 choices of words. And of course, diving back into you brought up the orphanage. So you were an orphan in Ukraine.
Yes, my mom finally gave us up I was 4. Gage was just born. My dad died when I was 4. After that, she kind of just lost it to alcohol and not really drugs, but just mental sickness and
Mm-hmm.
alcohol. And we got taken away. And after that, it was just jumping from one orphanage to another. And I went through about 4 of them.
About 4
Yep,
orphanages.
until I was 16.
So there's a really heavy, I would say, stigma on orphanages, especially I mean, you see them in movies all the time. That orphanage could really be a really bad, like a really bad place for kids. I mean, of course, you have good apples and you have bad apples. So what were your experience when it came down to the orphanages that you kind of like cycled through? Were they like great experiences, or were they, kind of like the horror experiences that we see on movies here today?
I think it's both. There's often just not so supervised by the local government, or they're not media advertised as
Mm-hmm.
much. So they get neglected more. So the diet is poorer, the security is poorer, there's more drugs going on and stuff like that. But the higher security or the higher the media exposed, the better the orphanage is. And when I first started it, I started actually in an orphanage that you stay there Monday through Friday, and Saturday and Sunday your parents pick you up. And my
Mm-hmm.
mom she believed at that time that she can do it. 2 days a week was just enough to do it, right? So that orphanage was good. It was normal kids too. The parents that go out of town to work Monday through Friday, they take them to that. It's orphanage slash school, like a week
Okay,
school.
like an all-inclusive stay,
Yeah,
vacation stay.
kinda. So that one was good, but the second one, I think that's really where I saw the horror. Like I saw girls getting raped. Like you didn't really want to look like a girl. I saw drugs more common. I saw money just going around like anything, but. These kids are desperate. They genuinely have nobody. They never get visited. And I think the best example of that is like nursing homes in America. Like those people go there and never get visited or they get forgotten. That's how these kids are.
Wow.
Yep. But the third one was great. So I got to see all three worlds really being in those orphanages. But I'm genuinely just grateful that the third orphanage finally combined me and my little brother. I didn't get that chance in the first two orphanages, so I didn't get to see him grow up. Really, at least I've run away and snuck in or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it was, as a lady, and pardon me, I mean, my mom told me that it was disrespectful to ask a lady their age, but how old are you?
I'm 29, almost 30.
You're 29 years old. When you turn 30?
April 19.
April 19th. So you'll be 30 next year. So at 29 years old, coming from a different background, of course, overseas, and not only overseas, you're coming from orphanages. So when you transitioned over here, how did that happen for you and transition to get to the States?
Awful, awful. I was 16 almost. I already graduated Ukrainian school. I didn't speak no English. I mean, I didn't know yes or no. None, no English, zero. Same with my little brother. But being adopted was the best decision we could. All opportunity, genuinely a second life, like second chance in life opportunity for us. Gage became a police officer. He became a father. He has beautiful two kids, a beautiful wife. And I get so emotional. Like you can probably see me a little shake because people don't get it. Like we went all by the book to be here, right? We went through all the documents. My parents went through adoption. We went through all of that, and it was a daggum nightmare. Not gonna lie, it was a lot of money, a lot of prayer, and a lot of people getting together because. It wasn't just them, it was an army. It was two churches that supported them, locals donated, it was so much more. But all the beautiful side, there was an ugly side to it too, genuinely. Like not speaking the language, being 16 years old, coming, I mean, I didn't see the culture shock. I didn't see foods. I mean, we went to Walmart for the first time. Gage just looking and start crying because we never seen that much food
Just
in
because
one
of the
place.
conveniency, yeah.
Exactly. So I think the culture shock was bad, and the first 6 months was bad. Adjusting to a new family, new rules, new faith. We came from Catholic background. They strong Southern Baptist, so it was a completely different
Completely,
faith.
yeah, completely not a day.
So yeah.
So, I mean, hearing all this stuff, and of course now, fast forward to the present day before we go back in your past walk, if you had a very, I would like to say, I wouldn't say roller coastery. You've had a very experienced background and upbringing. You've literally lived through and witnessed firsthand a lot of things that people, like I said earlier, they see on movies. Like they think that they know that it's real, but they don't understand how close it is to them. It could be anybody in the room that went through it, right? And you're a very well put together woman and very decorated, right? So looking at the things that you're doing now, you just started a business, and tell us a little bit about the business that you own and operate.
Absolutely. Absolutely excited. We just started it really 4 weeks ago and it's fully developed. Like we have full team. We started a wholesale company, but we don't want to be just defined as a wholesale company because we focus on innovations, focusing on more ethical and value side of it than just assigning, misleading, and moving on kind of thing to a next transaction. That is not our view on the company. So with my background in real estate coming, I got to experience that, I got to see it real life. And then my partner, of course, in this company, we started together, his whole side is marketing. So he knew how to get the clients, how to show our properties out to the best buyers as well. But at the same time, my view, like how can we still be ethical and how can we still be legally right by the homeowner and by the buyer? Well, nobody has to lose, you know? And in wholesale industry, goodness, you get my blood pressure going. I love
You're
it.
excited. I know you're
I-
passionate about
I
it.
love it. It gets my blood pressure up because it's such a misleading thing and people get such a bad reputation, and the moment you say it's going to be an assignment, like, oh, so you wholesaler, I don't do nothing with wholesalers. And then you're trying to explain to them, no, hold on. And by the way, I would love to mention this. Our company is actually under a big nonprofit. So our nonprofit believes into helping people stay at their properties, to keep their homes, especially if they're behind on taxes or so on. We want them to keep the citizenship and ownership here in Texas, especially, right? But some homeowners, they're just done. They want to relocate. They want a bigger house. They want smaller house. They just want to move, you know? So that's where my side comes in. That is our buy as is team comes in, and we help the homeowner to sell it. So, of course, always recommend them to go with the agent because older generation, especially, they used to die. You know, that is the traditional thing. So always recommend them. And then I give them our offer. As simple as that. As simple as that. And another, I guess, the cool thing about it, wholesalers take so long to mislead these people. And I hate to say this, but it takes so long. It takes them 100, 200 days just to get them under contract. Our owners signing contract within 11 minutes on the phone with them, just going over the terms. They understand we're not the end buyer because would not be a right investment for our portfolio and our nonprofit. You don't want to keep it, so we can't help you. But we give you a second option. That means actually we very transparent. We list our property, so there is no lie. Like they will know how much we sell it for. So they know we're not the end buyer. It's listed with our broker. They know who the broker is. They have to fill out all the proper paperwork, like seller's disclosures. Lid-based paint exhibit and so on. So it's very transparent from the beginning, and which makes it easier as well work with the local agents. Because they get in commission as well. We pay in commission. Wholesalers don't pay commission. Hold on, what? That takes out of their profit. Like, hold on.
Absolutely.
We actually do that. And we accept the traditional funding. FHA, VA, conventional. If you know anything about those lenders, FHA especially, they require certain repairs done before they even close.
Absolutely.
There's no way you can give them contribution at closing and tell them to go fix it themselves how they want it. There is no such thing. You have to fix it. Who's paying for that? The wholesaler? You see, nobody. But we do that. We actually pay for those repairs. And if the homeowner is okay with it, they will usually reimburse us. But if they really need help, we just eat it on our side. So there is more perks to us than just being a wholesaler. But if we call it by the book, I guess it is a wholesale company.
Wholesaler, yeah.
Yes.
And so what is the name of this wholesale company for everyone to kind of be able to look at?
Love it. It's buyasis.org. As simple as that. We actually have a separate site for the buyers and agents that do have clients looking for the properties. It's buyasis.homes. And we have another option as well. If you see something, like contact me. My direct cell phone number is on everything. And we have comp reports available, exit strategies, especially for homeowners that they're getting in, but they want to rehab it and then move to the next one, but they have no clue where to start. Those reports actually shows them what would be spent on the flooring, what would be around spent for the roofing if you need to fix it. And it's for that specific area of the property. So not shopping in Dallas for Plano property, you know what I mean? That is a market value numbers for that specific county, for that specific property. So those reports available, again, seller's disclosures. I know agents will not even consider writing up an offer without those documents. Lead-based paint exhibit, AIBS, which is agent brokerage disclosure as well. So it's just above and beyond. We want you to make a wise decision on purchasing so nobody have to lose it. Again, I'm
Yeah.
going back to full circle on it.
Exactly. So, I mean, a company is going to be, to me, I feel a company is going to always be successful when you know exactly what you're doing and why you're doing it. A lot of people struggling with learning how to do a job or switching career fields is because they don't have the internal reason down of why they're even getting into what they're getting into. And behind your whole success stories and the reason that you're having a tremendous amount of success is one of course you got the right team, but most importantly you understand your purpose, and that's what's going to drive your core values, and your core values is what your company is going to stand on. And you guys are doing a phenomenal job, and it's actually quite impressive to watch and to see you kind of thrive and to grow it so expeditiously is pretty impressive,
Thank you.
especially with the track rate that you've had in your past of coming from a different country and not even being here, not even knowing the language, right? And for you to be able to go through all the things and the adversity being the key word, because man, like that's pretty heartfelt for you to almost be caught in that as a girl. And you said how you told me the story earlier. So you turned 15, and how many days before you turned 16?
6.
6 days. So you have a purpose and a job to fulfill on this earth, to be able to show not only even women, just men, because even as a man hearing your story, I understand that whatever you put your mind to, and you do have that purpose behind whatever you put your mind to, you can achieve anything in life that you want to achieve. So congrats to you. So going back on that, I'm sorry, I keep getting away from it. Going back on that, 6 days before you turn 16. So coming out of orphanage in Ukraine, before you turn 16, what happens at that point if you wouldn't have gotten adopted 6 days before?
Really, two things. If you did not get adopted, you either get engaged. That's really the best
To a
option.
random person?
To somebody in the orphanage or somebody. I mean, you wanna be as soon as possible belong to something.
So you're getting engaged to either, like you said, somebody in the orphanage. So
Yep.
these are guys who don't know what they're gonna do either.
Either. Exactly.
So
Kind
you're
of
getting
both
engaged
struggling.
at 15 years old. Y'all are like getting engaged to each other.
Yep. Yep.
That's wild.
And that was normal. I mean, that was normal. That was one way out. The second way out is really to the streets, back on the streets.
And you know what you got to do to survive as a 16-year-old girl on the streets.
Exactly.
That's amazing. Like, it gives me chills even just hearing about it right now, because man, you have average people, then anyone can do amazing things. Anyone can make a lot of money. Anyone can be really, really successful. But the people who move mountains on earth, and I like to call them giants. You're a giant to me is because it's not truly about what you accomplish. It's about what you do for people of giving them hope. Because it's somebody's going to be listening to this right now and for years and years on, and you're going to give someone life and belief and faith that no matter what situation that you're in right now, you can come out of anything if you just have that faith and belief, and you have that purpose behind you, and you understand what you're doing every single day that you wake up. So like, look, I'm over here getting watery-eyed. I'm just like, man, because I'm just like visualizing in my head of how you put your mind to something, being a foreign woman at that, and coming over here and doing things the right way. That's amazing.
Thank you.
That's amazing. So, with the wholesale business, and of course, guys, she's an open book. Y'all can contact her. We have all the socials and the contact information here on the video and below in the link. What piece of advice would you would you give a woman in today's age if she's having hesitations on doing things the right way and going legit when it comes down to making a financially freedomized lifestyle?
Don't be scared. Don't be scared. And I say that out of experience. I had a good job before starting this business, guys. I made solid 70 plus $1,000 consistent. Like there was no interruption with my paycheck, you know?
Yeah.
And I let it all go. I literally just like didn't even tell my boyfriend, didn't tell nobody.
So at that moment,
Wait.
what was going through your head for you? I mean, because like you said, you didn't confide in anyone.
Nobody.
What did you feel? What was going through your mind at that point?
Honestly, if I didn't jump, when was I gonna jump? Because I tried jumping before. I started 2 other companies before, Girly Grow Getaways. I wanted to do Airbnbs. And then it just didn't work out with the laws in Puerto Rico where I lived and what I wanted to do. So it was not wanting to do it and not accomplishing. It was like it didn't work in that state. And then I started Demure Consulting, and it's still active. It's for training people that don't want to do it on their own, you know, want to know how to list the property, want to know how to negotiate the seller quicker, or anything like that. So I do have a consulting company as well. But honestly, again, it's just jumping, making that risk, and no matter what the consequences, no matter what it is, because people sway your opinion. Even like just probably talking to my loved ones, to my mom, she would sway my opinion completely. No, Abby, I mean, I can hear it myself already. Like, no, Abby, it's a real job. You have real bills. Like, come on, you know? And there's people that would completely support me if I told them, you know, like, absolutely, if this is what you feel like doing, go for it. But at the end of the day, it had to be my decision. And I really wanted to give something 110%, like of myself and of my time. And you know what's silly? And I hope this is encouragement as well. It's not easy, y'all. It's not easy. We work 3 shifts a day. Morning, midday, and evening. Waking up at 7 a.m., going to the gym, first shift, eating, second shift, going to the gym again, and a third shift, going to bed at 4 a.m., sometimes 6 a.m. We have VAs that go on a meeting with us. Richard, by the way, shout out, best VA ever.
Yeah.
But he goes on a meeting with us sometimes at 4 a.m. That is a different time zone in Philippines, you know, but that's how dedicated they are with me, you know, and with us, really. So, but it's very, very hard. So it wasn't easy.
Yep. And it's crazy because I told my guys that this morning here in the company chat. I'm like, you have to choose your heart. And we've all probably heard this before. Being broke is hard. Being rich is hard. Being happy is hard. Being sad is hard. You know, having a great attitude going out for other people is hard. Having a bad attitude with other people is hard. So, I mean, we all have a choice when it comes down to life. And the key point that you said is you can't be afraid and you have to start. The worst place is no place, and no place is the person that never starts the race. So congrats to you once again. We're having the courage to be able to understand that no matter what your gender is here in America, that you can create a very successful life out of yourself, which you have done.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's talk about a little bit little personal stuff. I mean,
Let's do
the business is the business, but I mean, of course, as a lady, you know, I know y'all like to have your highlights in your personal life and your leisure time.
Of course.
So how does that look for you?
Starting a business, you lose a lot of hobbies.
I know. That's why I asked you this question.
Friends.
That's why I asked you this question.
And friends. But I think the goal is honestly to keep your habits or have certain habits in line that's not negotiable for you. So for us, it's gym. And we go to the gym. Sometimes, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not going twice a day. It ain't happening. But my goal is for 2025, it was 208 days, which is 4 days a week. So that is one of mine. Second, honestly, spending time in the Word. I'm big in my faith, so that is a certain dedicated time in my day for that. Spending time with my puppy, having a cute little Yorkie with high energy takes
Yeah.
time. So those walks are consistent. But besides that, it's genuinely work. It's just building. There's no fun time when you're really trying to like build
Established.
something,
Yeah.
there is no fun time, but I'm willing to sacrifice it now until like I'm 35 and then actually
Enjoy the
breathe.
fruits of your labor.
Exactly.
So a lot of people don't understand that. Especially it's 2026 now. I'm already in
Yeah.
next year. If anybody asks me, I'm in
Mine
2026.
as well.
I'm ahead of the game. All right, so I'm already prepared. The sacrifices that you have to make as a woman. I know the ones that you have to make as a man. Yeah, I mean, with us, I mean, of course, like partying and going to spend the time with your buddies, going out and, trying to entertain folks. Like, you have to get rid of that in order to hit your strides. So I know you say you suffered a little bit in the Fran area, right? So as I need you to let other people know, the ones watching this, what it takes as a woman to sacrifice. Because I mean, honestly, when building a business, you got to sacrifice not only friendship, but that's a lot of relationships. So especially you're in a relationship or talking to someone that doesn't understand how owning a business works. Everybody thinks of owning a business as freedom. Initially, owning a business is not freedom, and I don't even really care. Like, even 30 years of being in the business is the business because you're the business owner. Like, your adjective in front of your title is business owner.
Exactly.
So you always have to be inside of the business.
You have to. And you have to know every part of it, really.
You got to know how the business works because you established that business. So what was one of the groundbreaking sacrifices that you had to make that you hated to give up?
Honestly, you want to know honest?
Well,
I can say something like, lose a friend,
hey,
lose a paycheck.
hey,
I mean, those were real,
yeah,
those
yeah.
were real. But I think put my ego to the side. I'm so used to be very independent, which that ruined a lot of my relationships. So I'm gonna disclaim that, guys. So sometimes being all this driven is not a good thing. And if you keep pushing the right people out of the way, then you're gonna be alone at the end of the day, So I had to put my ego to the side a lot, and it's daily. It's not was like one-time thing and fixed, because thankfully my partner is a partner in life and partner in business, but those two words clash, like, hey, he has an opinion on this, but I'm like, hold on, I come with a real estate experience of this many years, I know what I'm talking about.
You got to keep emotion out of it.
Yes, and we had to literally realize that, like, when we're at the computer, it's like, okay, both of us are focused right now, or we're on the phone, both of us are
No
focused.
personal can come up, and it's so hard, right, because they're right there.
Exactly, but ego was the biggest. I am so independent, like, I don't need nobody. And it's good. It made me, kind of helped me realize that I was responsible for myself for the first time. Because being in an orphanage, they tell you when to eat, when to sleep, how much toothpaste you can use. I mean, shoot, I don't lie. I had only one set of clothes. And when we got adopted, they told us we had to strip, and my parents had to bring clothes to just take us from the door of the orphanage. So when I'm saying, like, I'm used to being very, like, I didn't have nothing to my name. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not even nothing. So then when I finally got that power, like, oh my gosh, I graduated school, American school and college. Like, I'm like, okay, I can be independent woman. My ego grew very quick, and then the looks didn't help. At first,
I mean,
it didn't help.
hey, as it should, but we all have to have humble moments. But hey, you like I said, hey, you gotta sometimes. You got to pat yourself on the back.
You do, but I was patching a lot on my
She's
back.
like, I love my
I was
back.
like, what do I want to do, what I don't want to do. Everything was around my emotions, if that makes sense. I was like, how do I feel about this? How do I feel about them? Like, I wouldn't even give people a chance because I was like, I don't feel like there's a vibe. Like, I wouldn't even connect with somebody because it was all based on feelings, and it was all based on ego. Like, I was judging certain experiences and people just based on fear that somebody not gonna see me as this big person anymore, you know? So that was big, and the hardest one that still takes daily.
Would you say that came from the whole orphanage and you having to overcome what you overcome?
Yeah.
Would you say that yeah, that kind of, so we all got trauma.
Yeah, we do.
But for you to be able to catch that at such a young age and realize like, hey, I'm the problem.
Yeah.
I have a problem. I got to fix that so I don't become a problem. So, like you said, ruining relationships over the whole ego thing, and it totally makes sense.
And it did. It
It
did.
totally makes sense. So,
And being Ukrainian, but guys, I'm like 90% pure Russian and I speak Russian, you know? So I'm
Yeah.
like, it's like, I don't know, it's our, I don't
pretty
know. Like,
aggressive.
yeah, I'm regionally
yeah, it's
aggressive.
like, nah, this is how it's gonna happen. Those Russians, y'all, it's aggressive over there. They don't play no crap.
Yeah,
at
no
all.
emotions. Like things that funny, normal people find is like not funny to me, and I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things like that. So I have to really put my ego to the side to put somebody else's feelings up before myself to see it even.
But also on the positive side, it helps you be strong-willed at what you believe in.
Yes.
And that's what's been, really impactful for you and your success in this business.
Thank you.
So, well, that's all I have for you here today, Miss Abbie. I really appreciate you for coming and telling your story and sharing a little bit about your business. Guys, I feel like this is probably going to be one of the best videos ever because it's not only talking about the great things that you're doing, but it's your story that you share with the world to be able to do the things that you do right now.
Thank you.
And congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.